Bonus video, real quick. What kind of doctor am I? What do I do on the regular? And I wanted to do this video because I do read every comment. Every now and then I miss a comment, but I try to read every comment, just so you know. Okay. I do work full time. I have a full time job and I'll say a full time position, but I also own my own medical practice where I see general medicine patients. And I would say, for the most part, adults. Every now and then I'll see someone, but there usually needs to be over the age of 16, preferably 18, but mostly adults. And let's see, do I do anything else? Not really. Yeah, well, YouTube, but that's just kind of a side thing. Uh, okay, so I am a naturopathic medical doctor. The requirements for being a naturopath is different all over the state. Here in Arizona, I'm licensed as a primary care physician, and I had to attend a 4-year in-person medical school and then go on with internships and a residency. And what happened, and I guess I can title it, I had it all and then lost everything. I guess I can title this that. But right as I was finishing medical school, I was offered a position at an endocrinology practice because most of my mentors were MDs and endocrinologists. And I was very interested in treating diabetes and thyroid, obesity, and the diseases that accompany obesity, like congestive heart failure and blood pressure issues. Just, everything that's kind of curable in a way. I mean, you can cure different types of diabetes. Not all of them, but type 2, you got a fighting chance to kind of turn that around. So that was kind of my vision. And I was working. I had a great position at this endocrinology group, traditional endocrinology. Am I going too fast on this? Oh, what I want to say is, in other parts of the country, some people call themselves a naturopath, but they never attended medical school, or they attended some kind of online mail order thing. It's not the same thing. It depends where you are. If they're calling themselves that, they're in a non-licensed state. And naturopaths, well, that are doctors like myself, are fighting for licensure all over the country, because if every state has a license, then you would have had to attend medical school to be a naturopathic medical doctor. So in Arizona, my designation is NMD because I attended medical school, residency, etc. Also, in Arizona, there's only one hospital that offers residencies. It was Cancer Treatment Centers of America, which I didn't get a residency there, but I didn't want to treat cancer anyway. But I did end up working at an urgent care that was very similar to an ER setting. And I had a wonderful mentor there who was an ER medical doctor who is now one of my very good friends to this day. And that's where I learned turning and burning, right? Doing everything from suturing and removing twigs out of wounds and, pelvic exams when someone comes in crying with a lot of pain, and you name it, what walks through the door, we were treating it. So I did that for a long time. Plus, I had a background as an RN. And the reason I chose to go to naturopathic medical school was I had seen what Western and general medicine had to offer. And when I was thinking about, okay, do I want to be a nurse practitioner now, or a physician assistant, or a medical doctor? And then long story short, there was a group of naturopaths working in this clinic, and they were doing things I had never seen before. I'm like, what's a naturopath? Like, I didn't even know that was an option. Well, long story short, I went to naturopathic medical school, quit my job that I had. I had a really good job as an RN. I quit that, went back to school full time, and I've never looked back, So, and why I mention that is because every now and then there's a snarky comment, which, to each his own. I mean, I know not everyone's the same. We have positive people, we have negative people. I invite everyone, right? I invite everyone. When I used to read my comments, at the beginning of when my channel was taking off, it would hurt my heart, and I would get a stomachache over it. And then I wouldn't post a video for several days. And, but now every now and then there'll be a weird comment, and I just still ignore it. I'm kind of over it because everyone has their opinions, and that's fine. You're welcome to your opinion. But so I wanted to explain that. So when I talk about where I'm coming from, it's not because it's all woo woo. What I treat now is a lot of general practice things. you name it, blood pressure problems, diabetes. I had someone comment on my channel and they said, I don't know, what did they say I was a witch doctor? I forgot what they called me. I don't know, it was some kind of insult. And then I was like, I think I did comment back and I'm like, well, if using insulin is being like a witch doctor, what do you think I treat my diabetics with? If they have type 1 diabetes, I'm putting them on insulin. I'm teaching them how to use the Novolog pen, how to calculate your blood sugar. Well, it's nice if they have a pump and a Dexcom. I don't have to do that, but I'm using insulin. I'm not using magic fairy dust, right? In blood pressure, if I can't get that blood pressure down naturally through nutrition, weight loss, exercise, maybe a couple of helpful like nutrients and herbs, because that is a thing, by the way, some supplements. If I can't get it, yes, I'm using lisinopril. I'm using an ACE inhibitor, right? I might be adding in a beta blocker. Like I'm doing traditional medicine. So I don't know if that helps those of you that watch my channel, like naturopath doctors in, I know Washington, Arizona are definitely doing mainstream medicine, right? However, I will do as much natural as I can, if I can. And if I can't get there naturally, then I will add in medications. And so I get back to the endocrinology story. So here I am. I get offered this really great position at a traditional endocrinology practice. And it just wasn't the right fit because obviously I'm a talker, right? You're on my channel, you know that. So I would meet with patients in the room and I'd spend 20 to 30 minutes with them because they had complex endocrine problems, whether it was like pituitary problems, thyroid problems, ovarian problems, like whatever. Like those things are complex and they take a lot of teasing out to figure out what's going on, especially when their primary doctor referred them over to us. And then I remember the doctor I was working under said, we're going to start putting a timer in your room because you're taking way too long and you should be in there 5 minutes tops. Well, that was one thing that got my brain started on, I've got to open my own practice. But at the time, having no money and just school debt at this point, because yes, our school, we go into 6-figure debt also. We do. I was like, well, I don't know if that's going to be a thing. Well, turns out I had to do that anyway because the endocrinology group was like, look, we don't think this is going to work out. Yeah. So we ended up parting ways. And I kid you not, I opened my own practice, which is still going to this day. And some patients I've had with me since my first year in business, which I opened with no loans. And this is not to say that we were not really privileged for the Gen X generation. Yes, we were. But I think one thing that was on our side is our tenacity, resilience, and ability to work. Most of my Gen X friends, we couldn't wait to go to work. Most of us were working by age 15, most of us. And again, that was just our generation. That's just how it was, right? There wasn't all the fun things to do at home like there is now. We didn't have the internet and we didn't have cell phones. So we're like, we got to get out of here and get a job because, sitting at home is boring. Maybe that's why. But why I bring that up is because I had to start my practice. So what I did was, since I still had my RN license, I was working all night long, seeing hospice patients, working for a few different companies. I won't go into that now, while building up my private practice. So thank God for nursing. Well, anyway, so that's my background in a nutshell. I thought that was important to let you know. And it's really hospice that influenced my thinking on some of my videos, why I love talking about the paranormal, supernatural, spiritual things, the experiences I personally have, the experience I've had in this house, because hospice changed everything for me. Because even though I'll have people comment on my channel like, well, I had a family member die, I didn't see anything. And that's valid. But I'll say when you work for hospice, you see hundreds of patients' deaths. So the percentages, right, of what you might see something interesting to make you go, like never saw that before, it goes up. And again, if you're in healthcare, you know what I'm talking about. And some of you in healthcare still may have never seen anything, and that's okay too. But it doesn't discount the experiences some of us have had. I know I'm going out on a tangent, but I just thought this video was long overdue. But I will say 99.9% of my comments are beautiful. They're amazing. I thank you all for being here and enjoying the time we're having doing this. It's super fun. It's a great outlet. And if you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel, I highly recommend it. It's a really great hobby. It's a great outlet. And I think being from Gen X, because we like face-to-face communication, we do. And in the age of AI, which I want to do a video about that, what's coming. It's really nice to do this. And thank you for being here with me. Okay, that's all I was going to say. Thanks for being here.